Hello, everyone. This is Jennifer Williams with Lux Life and Coldwell Banker Gold Coast. Today, our podcast is we have a returning guest, which I'm very excited to share. But our podcast is sponsored by my favorite dry cleaner, Plaza Cleaners, located at 20883 South LaGrange Road in Frankfort. They are hands down what keeps me looking the best I possibly can. As far as my clothes go, everything always comes out crisp, nice, clean, professional, on time, on budget. Love them. They can be found on the web at Plaza Cleaners frankfurtil.com. Check them out. They're also on Facebook too. They do embroidery service. They do hemming, a lot of kinds of alterations. Actually, embroidery I'm not sure about, but the alterations I do know. They do alterations. Also, if you're in the Frankfort area, be sure to check out the Fire and Ice Winter Social that is being held in the old part, the original downtown Frankfort area. That's going to be January 29th from noon to 3. They're having a chili cook-off with a bunch of restaurants that are there. It should be a fantastic time. They've got ice carving demos. They have games, bonfire s'mores, and hot chocolate. And you can see all the great shops that the center of Frankfort has to offer. So go check it out. Frankfort, Illinois, South Suburb. Mentioned it on one of my podcasts earlier with Mayor Keith Ogle. So without any further ado, I'm Lux Life, we just started a section called Closing Points, and those closing points are closing points with Brian Brown. And where Brian Brown goes through, he's with Brunette Title, and he goes through and tells us different things about title companies, title insurance, whether it's from the homeowner standpoint or from an agent standpoint, because we have a variety of listeners here. So, Brian, how are you doing? Take it away.
I'm doing well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Last time we were on was in 21 with you when I had you on. Thanks for coming back on.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about, I had a listing yesterday and I'm going through the conversation with the gentleman and we talk about title. What's this title insurance? So we're going through the listing documents and I'm, hey, here's this, here's this, here's this. What's title insurance?
Gotcha. Well, a lot of people who haven't really been in the real estate market with buying and selling have no idea what the title insurance is. It's simply, if you're a seller, you have to have insurance to verify that you own the property and that the title company is going to ensure that if there are any liens against it or any potential judgments come up, that we're going to cover that because we're saying that you do own the property. So we do a search. Make sure there are no liens against it because the buyer more than likely has a lender involved and the lender wants to make sure that you own the property and they're not going to incur any, other liens ahead of their lien. They want to be in the first lien position. So basically you're ensuring that you're allowing someone, even if they pay cash, they're going to own the property. They'll be in first lien position. And it makes everyone feel a little bit more comfortable with moving along with the transition and transaction.
So it's almost like having an insurance policy where, a total different type of insurance policy, but insurance is insurance. It's almost like having your homeowner's insurance or car insurance or anything like that. It's just another layer of added security and safety.
And it's for the most part necessary. Again, who's going to want to buy a property and they may be a lien that's not recorded properly or not recorded yet, but when it comes up, it could be $50,000. For some work that was done by, someone else prior. So it's the best way to go so that everyone has peace of mind. It's not that expensive, but it does serve an extremely important, point.
Sure. The cost definitely outweighs the benefit, or the benefit outweighs the cost, I should say. You're paying something
right
for a service, but that service runs a long time, and so really dollar for dollar it doesn't cost that much.
No.
That's usually decided at what point, who picks the title company?
Well, the clients in Illinois, pick the title company. Usually they have a conversation with an agent if they're not really familiar with the process, and the agent can give them a couple of different, 2 or 3 different title companies or recommendations, and it's up to the client to make that decision.
So
They make that decision.
the client, so then the listing, so the seller makes the decision.
The seller makes the decision with the agent. If they have an attorney that they know that they would like to use, they go through that attorney, or they work with the agent to find someone who they can work with. And they start the process, because most of it's going to be communicated through that attorney and the title company. That's their job, or their role is to make sure they're communicating with us to make sure we get what we need to clear title through the client. Or if the client does a self rep, which they do it themselves, they have to do the legwork of the attorney. They would communicate with us. But in Illinois and in the 5 Collier County areas, it's mostly the attorneys who are working with the clients.
Sure. And then what happens though if, there's, from my understanding, which actually, I mean, obviously I do know the answer to all this, but there's a lot of benefits to using Brunette title.
Yeah. Well,
Touch on it.
Thank you for saying that. Well, a lot of it, we bring some quality to the program as well. Our company as a whole, and individually as agents and account executives like myself, I personally go out to the sellers and help, for pre-signing, for pre-closing. I'll go out and notarize the documents at their home, so they don't have to go set up an appointment at a bank or leave work or have to go somewhere to try to wait an hour to get something notarized, or the documents, or pay someone to notarize it. I don't charge, to do that.
Because they're using your service. It's another thing that it's another layer of service that
it is
streamlines for the client.
It is. And again, that's me personally with my agents and attorneys and clients that I work with. As far as overall Brunette title agents, we have over 33 different offices that we utilize. Many of the account executives will help assist with the closing in any way they can. So again, we're always trying to find ways of how we can build our brand for the clients. It's not established like, oh, we're just here, this is where we do business. We're trying to be flexible. If it's a commercial deal, if it's a multi-unit, or just a condo, townhouse, we're trying to find out how can we help our clients have the best experience with our agent.
So it's just another streamlined process in, because you're putting the client first, which actually we all should. That's our job, is to put the client first. So with you communicating as well with the attorney, the agents, do you ever communicate with the seller directly outside of outside of notary, outside of signing the papers?
Not really. Again, that's the job of the attorney. We step out of that role and allow them to communicate and represent the client. That way, if there's any questions, legal questions, they can address with the attorney. However, if they do have questions on the title side, they can certainly call me directly. I always give my personal number out to the agents, attorneys, and clients, because if they have a question on the weekends, we want to make sure we can get back to them.
So what's that number?
773-540-8733.
So then you're telling me that if an agent or someone has a question that's not legal, again, that's what we have lawyers for, and we have real estate agents to cover real estate. Somebody can call you on the weekend?
Yeah.
And they
especially since the Bears don't play anymore, and they really didn't play this year. So I offered that service throughout the year, and a few people took me up on that. They call Sunday night at 8:00 because I always say 9 to 9. Let me know. My livelihood and my business is serving, and I enjoy what I do. And if I didn't enjoy it, I certainly wouldn't give out my number to call, and I wouldn't give out my email to call. But it's important for people to be educated on a transaction that's going to be one of the biggest of their life. And even if it's not, it should be an enjoyable experience. Why not help people have an enjoyable experience? I mean, the effort you put into representing them as an agent, it's building rapport.
Yes. And when I say, I talk all the time about, the amount of professional, the team of people that I have behind me, you're one of those in that team, in that cog of wheel of success for our clients. And it's the availability, it's the connectivity and the the similar mindset that the client is first. You know, we are here to make sure that it's the biggest transaction, that it's the largest asset, a lot of people, or depending on if they have a portfolio of assets, but it's a pretty big deal.
It is. It's a transaction. And we're there from the beginning when we do the search until the very end, when we disperse the funds. At the closing, we disperse the funds. The clients don't have to be there. We can wire the funds to them, especially nowadays with health issues and health concerns. We don't require our clients to travel around the city to come to a closing. We help facilitate that with the attorneys and with the agents.
Sure. And I think on our first podcast, but I want to, this is such a repeatable message that needs to keep being continually repeated. Wire fraud. Let's talk about wire fraud, because, okay, I've got this closing. I'm so excited. I sold my house and I got this email. Wow, how convenient. Yeah, somebody sent me an email to wire the money to wire, and I'm wiring it to this account that looks all real.
Right.
Oh, guess what?
Yeah, that's a very good point. There's so much fraud. I was in banking for 15 years and I was a branch manager. And a lot of consumers don't realize, or just, a lot of people just don't realize, once you wire funds, they're gone. That's why you have to verify and make sure the information is correct. And what we do to make sure it's correct is we have our accounting department directly speak with the clients. We don't get involved as agents, account executives or attorneys. We are trying to streamline that so it's direct communication between the client and our accounting.
Communication. How's it? I mean, because I'm not. We're not going to receive an email, a call, or a text message.
Well, again, through the pattern, we'll have their contact information because of the agent and the attorney. We can verify that, have them reach out to us. So again, we go through the proper channels of making sure it's vetted.
Sure.
But we don't give out any information of where to wire money, and we verify where we want it to, where they want it to go. That's why I go out personally on the listings, because they can fill it out. I can notarize it, so I'll know it's them, and it's going to go to where they'd like for it to go. And if they don't do that, they can still provide it to their attorneys or get it to us. But again, it's peace of mind, it's convenience, and it's just, you can go about your daily life. You don't have to worry about what's going to happen to the $50,000 or $300,000 or even $700,000 just going to get wired to you. You don't have to worry about that.
Could you imagine? I mean, I would. Yeah. And it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people wire money to people who say they're stuck in another country and they need money.
You're right.
They get caught up on the internet with some of these stories, and their wire is gone. And being in banking, I had to, inform clients of the possibility of it not being legitimate. However, it's their decision. That's why we want to work with you, so you make good decisions, not poor decisions.
That's unbelievable. I mean, again, I know how important it is to make all the right choices. We've all made mistakes. We all hear stories. I mean, my gosh, I could write a book. But the fact that, again, it's that added layer, and people have options. Our clients have options. So when they're selecting real estate brokerage, a real estate broker and their brokerage firm, I think the other point that everybody needs to understand is that they're not just choosing that agent, and they're not just choosing Coldwell Banker. They're also, that agent comes with all these other added levels of things, like yourself. The title company is on the tail end, if you will, of the transaction. I come in the very beginning. I'm there from day one. You're there on day, say, 25 of a 30-day, or not 20, say 20-ish of a 30-plus day close.
I was going to say, actually, we're there, like I said before, at the beginning of it as well, because we have to do the search. So once you and the client decide, you had a conversation and the client decides to utilize the title company and us, then we'll do the search. So we're there from the beginning as well, maybe day 2 or day 3. After we receive a listing or a contract, we do our job. And then we're involved in it until the very end. So along with you.
So hand in hand, walking the whole entire way. So once again, when you're choosing your agent and who they work with, you're going to want to choose somebody who is going to show up and be there.
Sorry, it's very important when we're saying that. It's very important to have a good relationship with who you're doing business with. I mean, if you'd like to call me, you can call me. We have a nice conversation.
Yes.
Some people may feel uncomfortable because someone's not going to give them that attention, or they may feel as though they're interrupting them. So it's good for even the agents to have a good rapport. It's not always about the clients. It's about everyone having a good experience.
Yeah, they all have to have a good experience. And let's touch on that as well. Brunette Title, there's other title companies that are out there. You and I both know there's quite a few of them, a couple of them world's largest. Brunette Title, I decided I hear this podcast, I'm going to go list my home. Is Brunette Title only Coldwell Banker, or is Brunette Title, can anybody use Brunette Title?
Anybody can use Brunette Title. And I thank you for bringing that up, because we're owned by Realogy, which is one of the largest, not the largest in the country, real estate companies. But we have the flexibility to work with anybody. We primarily work with Coldwell Banker agents at this time, simply because we have a good rapport and we're making sure that we're giving them the attention that they need. But we work with a lot of different lenders, national lenders, and we're not a mom and pop shop. We are, one of the large title company that has access to, we use Chicago Title as an underwriter, Fidelity, Old Republic, Title Resource Group, which is owned by Realogy. So we're underwritten by the same people as everyone else. The benefit of it is, though, we are able to communicate and get answers in a timely fashion. We're not overwhelmed. We can give our clients personal attention, and just instead of saying, we'll call you back when it's done, or we'll give you an email address, you can call and speak to us. And, our examiners are wonderful. Our team is wonderful. I've been happy every day since I've been at Brunette Title. I've worked in banking. I've worked with some of the larger companies, and I've worked with some of the larger media companies when I was in advertising. But being in an environment where people truly care, and I'm an empathetic and compassionate person, you don't have to stretch it. You can be who you are and share and grow. I volunteered in many different cases in my life, from coaching to just different organizations. But when you can implement that into your life and help clients go through a process of buying or selling, it's fulfilling for me. And that's what I'm offering. I'm offering that part of who I am too.
Sure. And again, that's a lot of the reason for, number one, having you continually on the podcast and doing the podcast, because I want that connectivity. We can put out so much print advertisement. We can put out so many things. We can bombard a whole it's been. But nobody really knows you until they know you, They don't
exactly
have to hear your voice, hear your personality, hear how we are interacting together, how you talk, how I talk, and the connectivity. And some people are going to like it. Some people aren't.
Exactly.
This is what it is. But, the fact that also too, we're having a lot of questions answered, because I do get, when I'm sitting on my listing appointments, I have questions that come up. And if I don't have the answer, I know that I can send you a text message and you're going to respond to me right away with the answer. If you have it, or if it's something that you don't, you're going to get me the answer right away.
Definitely. And even mentioning that with some of our products that we offer, like Title Snap, it allows you to have a conversation with your clients with a more accurate estimate of what their net proceeds are going to be. So they'll know how much they're going to have for the next property that they're going to purchase, or if they're just retiring and they're downsizing and they already have another home, they'll know what they can have for their retirement.
So,
but those
Snap, really? So is this is it an app? How do we get Title Snap?
It is an app. It's a mobile app. And you can reach out to me at Brian, BRIAN.brown at Brunette with one T, title, IL.com. And if you can post that too, that will allow people to reach out to me, and I can give them more information about Title Snap. But it's a vehicle that we have from Realogy Company that allows clients to see who's getting paid what and why they're getting paid that. So you can have a conversation saying, this is my value. I'm bringing all this to you, and I'm bringing more to you than the industry does.
Yeah.
And this is what you're going to walk away with. And we're going to get you this amount.
You brought it on a personal schedule, on a personal level. I mean, you've got it so where it is something that, again, you're passionate about. You can tell. you can tell it in your voice, and you can tell by your response that it's something that you truly love.
Yeah. Right. Well, I believe in it. I believe in, people say knowledge is power, but it's the right knowledge and the correct knowledge. You can have a lot of knowledge about something that's relevant, but when you have knowledge about what's important to you and what's relevant, which is selling your home or buying a home, that's going to help you succeed and feel as though you are part of the whole game and not just sitting on the sideline, giving your money to someone or taking money from someone.
Yeah. Then that way you start to see the value. You see the value in the cost. You see a little more, there's other people that are out there that are cheaper. I mean, I was just talking about it this morning. Did a TikTok this morning, and we all talk about commission and prices, but there's so many other things that, we think that paying our real estate agent a lower commission is the way to go. And it's kind of not, to be quite honest with you, because you're a level of service that is paid, is part of the whole, again, cog in the wheel. So let's switch gears and go to the real estate agent. Let's talk about the real estate agent. And a real estate agent, what makes it so much better to work with Brunette Title?
Well, the first thing I want to lead was they get paid at the closing. So we don't have to send their money to, a lot of people have to send money to their office administrators, then they have to process it, and it can take a few days. One of the benefits for the co-op banker agents is that we can pay them at the closing table. We can wire the funds to them, the proceeds, or cut a check for them, as long as we get the commission statement that's done properly with their, expenses or whatever. And if you're not with co-op banker, if you're just an agent who's doing business with us, we can still generate a check for you. If you give us a wire, we can wire it to you as well. So again,
come on. So you mean I'm not waiting?
Yeah. If you're out of town, if you're out of the country, if you're out of state, if you have an emergency to take care of even that day across town, I again offer my services to have a check printed up to one of our locations that's nearest to you, and we can drop it off to your office. If you're with another real estate firm, I can drop it off to your office, or we can UPS it to you. But we try to accommodate as much as we can. And it depends on the situation with the realtors who are with other companies, but we'll be able to work that out with our accounting, how to expedite it for them.
So you mean to tell me that I could have a closing, let's pick a location, or I could have a closing at Frankfurt. Mm-hmm. And I use Brunette Title, and I'm at my office on Michigan Avenue. Mm-hmm. When that deal closes, which 99% of the time I'm at my own closings, but just say I'm stuck downtown. I am. Sure. You mean to tell me that you'll bring me my check?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it depends I can have it wired into my account, and I don't have to. I can continue selling real estate instead of chasing money.
Right. And again, these are part of what Realogy is providing to the agents here, but it's also what Brunette Title, as an independent company, is trying to offer our clients, speed, convenience, security, and again, that personal touch where you're like, we appreciate your business. Thank you. I can take a few minutes out of my day to have a check printed up to, Michigan Avenue or West Loop, go over there, sign it, give it to you, and you can go on about your day, or leave it in your mailbox.
Unbelievable. So why wouldn't everyone, select Brunette Title? I know that there's that, and I run into it. You and I have had the conversation. I have run into it where, I take the listing because, I love working with you, and you make my life a whole lot easier. And so I want to, we have on the listing agreement, we explain to our clients about the benefits, and they don't have to choose Brunette Title. It doesn't make it makes a difference to me, yes, in the end result in the service level of service that I know that I can provide to my clients. However, I'll work with, anybody. It doesn't really, it's whatever makes everybody comfortable.
Sure.
My preference is, so how can we really make that drive that more home? to choose Brunette title?
Well, it comes down to the conversations you have with your clients and for them to be able to see and understand the value by what I'm mentioning, simply convenience, security, personal attention. That's going to be one of the distinguishing factors. That's something, again, they talk to their attorneys about to say, this is who I'd like to utilize. So we're all on the same page and we take it from there.
What
But
if
again,
go ahead.
Well, it was being on the same page as far as, knowing that you're going to have peace of mind because we're committed to you. We're telling you, we're giving you our contact information. I'm not sure how other title companies work with their account executives, if they're giving out their, information and how they're communicating with clients. But we want this to be a long-term relationship for you and your clients in the next transaction. We're trying to help the agents, win more business from that client, for them to tell their cousins or parents or children to utilize your services because their experience was a smooth and seamless transaction.
Sure, it is. So what if I have an attorney? I have several attorneys that I have a list of references, and again, you know what? Either you can choose the ones that I have, or you can choose your own. Doesn't matter to me. I want my client most comfortable.
Yes.
Well, let's say the seller wants to use Brunette title. The attorney has to have an agreement with Brunette title of some fashion. And I don't know how much you want to get into that. And that's, again, another conversation probably for a different day. I can ask my attorney or say, that I choose to use Brunette title. Please use them, correct?
That isn't the client in Illinois. The client makes the decision. And that's why I was saying, work with the attorney and work with the agent. Whoever they choose is between, you, the client, and, just their understanding of what the services are going to be. But so as far as the attorneys, go ahead.
How does my attorney get signed up with Brunette title then?
It's a simple process. That's a good lead-in, a good, simple process. I was going to mention the service agreement is all the majority of the attorneys have to sign. It's 5 pages. They just sign it because it's an agreement to do business with us and potentially use Fidelity, Chicago Title, Old Republic, or TRG. Those are the underwriters who we use. Every title company uses them. They're all underwritten by those companies. So the attorney signs a service agreement with us. We're part of the attorney agent program. And we take it from there. They're signed up usually the same day. So when the agent and client would like to submit the listing, the attorney's approved because we have to have them approved prior to the search in order for that, binding. But that's it. I mean, again, it's simple. It's not difficult.
It's not difficult. So I don't understand. I mean, it's kind of, why aren't more people?
It could be
accessible.
Just habits. They have to get to know us. They have to get to know me. And some people just want to go through a routine where they feel comfortable, which is understandable.
Sure.
But again,
anything new.
We're here just like you're reaching out to everyone, sharing your experience and your knowledge, and you're bringing resources and value. And that's what we'd like to bring to other attorneys. We have, hundreds of attorneys signed up with us to utilize. And that's what's one of the benefits of it is they like doing business with us. It's just a matter of communicating.
Sure. And it's, again, I'm glad we're doing these podcasts because not only I'm learning actually new things, which I should, because once we grow, we change. That's what we need to do, expand. But the general public is as well. That I think, again, going back to we as professionals, as real estate professionals, we do it every day. You do title, I do real estate every day. It's my full-time job, yours as well, and we forget about the nuances of the deal.
Right.
And we think everybody does real estate.
Right.
Everybody
exactly.
does.
That happens in every industry. Even when you're in banking, you think everyone should understand how to balance a checkbook or how to, gauge certain decisions, but not everyone's a part of that. That's why it's important to have a resource like yourself and other committed agents who are going to help walk someone through this process.
Yeah, because I'm not the only agent that obviously at Coldwell Banker, and I'm not the only agent that you have as well, to work with. So it's more of, how much do we push out there? How much do we talk about it, and how much is educating because anybody say they want to choose Brunette title, they want to get a hold of you. It doesn't have to be my client. I prefer it to be my client. I'm not
Right.
gonna lie,
Right.
but it doesn't have to be. You can be the client of another real estate agent
Right.
and still reach out to you because there's so many people don't understand a lot of the times that I find that it's like, what's a title company? Why even have one? What's a title
Right.
company do anyway?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
they're not going to be able to do a transaction without a title company. You can't just sign documents and shake somebody's hand and then walk away and say it's closed. The important part of a title company, again, is we're representing the lender. If a lender's involved, we're making sure that parties are truly the parties so that there's no fraud. I mean, if you're selling your home, you know, you want to make sure it's going to go through and someone's not just wasting your time. If you're trying to do it without a title company, you know, you don't have a search on the property, you know, you're not going to really know if you own the property or someone down the road had a lien that may, you know, have not been recorded again properly. And we're also there to help in case you have a situation where your parents are deceased and you have siblings and they don't agree on what they want to do. You know, it's an attorney's, you know, job to help negotiate that on who's going to get paid what, but it's also our job to help make sure the paperwork is in order and documented properly. So when it's recorded with the county, everyone will know that property is done, you know, in the proper manner. It's not just someone hoping they did it the correct way.
Sure. Yeah. Because again, once again, it goes back to this is what we do every day. But then
Yeah.
you are right. That is a good point to bring up as well, because if there is something hotly contested or if there's a cloud on the title,
Right.
then, you know, you take care, your Brunette title takes care of that.
Right. Well, even if there's no lien at all, it's fine. There could be a sibling or spousal, some arrangement. There could be taxes that weren't, you know, recorded. There could be federal taxes or state taxes. There could be liens. But regardless of liens about family, if it's not recorded properly, somebody may have been quitclaimed on it or was supposed to get quitclaimed on years ago, and they have the document. They just didn't quitclaim it. Well, that has to be recorded. And if we're knowledgeable of that and we're aware of it, we're able to help navigate that with the client and the attorneys and the agent.
So it really, again, you know, it's that other level of comfort, that level of security, that level of it's one less worry it's one more thing to take off your plate of worry. And
Yes.
because at times, you know, the buyers and sellers both get there's so much going on. You know, we go from like, okay, we're going to list the house to wham, you know, and it's boom, 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 boom. And then I feel sometimes at the end, the clients are like, okay, what just happened?
Exactly.
I have questions. I have two of them
even if it's not zoned, somebody wants to sell a 4-flat or 2-flat and has land next to it. That land may not be able to be sold with that property. You know, Chicago and Cook County is a little particular in some areas, or it could be in other counties. But you have to know what you can sell. Just because you own it, you pay taxes on it, doesn't mean legally they will allow it to be sold that way. So you're trying to list it and you find a buyer, but then you find out at the closing table or before the closing, you can't do that. And someone sold their home contingent on this. I mean, it puts everyone in a bad position.
Oh, I would not be happy.
No.
You know, whether I was the buyer, the seller, or the agent, you know, I would not be very happy with that.
But that's why, again, a title company comes in play. It's not a simple, easy breezy, just, I know I own it, I'm done. No, let's make sure this is taken care of.
Yeah.
And, you know, have insurance.
Again, it goes, you know, that's on, you know, I didn't even think about that with the zoning. You know, we list it as one thing, whether there's zoning changes or title changes, or, you know, sometimes we'll come up with when we do the surveys, the neighbor's fence is a foot over or 6 inches over, you know.
Right, encroachment, yeah.
Yes.
And then we insure over encroachment. We insure over certain things that, you know, if our underwriters allow us, so you can move forward with the closing. Otherwise, if they don't, you can't sell the property, or people may not want to buy it.
Right, we can't close on it with a loan on it, and you'd have
exactly.
You know, nobody's going to want to purchase it if there's, again, an encroachment issue. Huh.
Yeah, it's not always about the past; it's about the future as well. That's what the insurance is for, also.
You're right, because if something comes up, and wow, I didn't even think about that. Like I said, the zoning one that really has me going. The encroachment I knew, but as far as the zoning, you're right. You take something and it is something that will protect you for in the future. It's your future, because at some point in time, nine times out of 10, you're going to end up selling that property, whether it's an investment property, if it's a commercial property, a residential property, whatever type of property it is, you're probably going to sell it at some point. So you're either
True.
going to upgrade or you're going to downsize, depending on what portion of life you're going to relocate from
Right.
one area to another, whatever it might be. So by having your title, your ducks in a row, if you will, with the title and the title company, then it's just going to make your life easier when you go to do the same thing that you're, the opposite side of what you're doing. Then if you're the buyer,
Right.
or the seller, this is just going to make it that much easier.
Right. And time goes by fast. I mean, you may think 10 years down the road is a long time, but I've been through plenty of 10-year terms, and it goes by faster than you can imagine. So when you come up to that road again, where you have to make a decision or in your life, you want to have that, again, peace of mind. Our services are peace of mind, hopefully for life, because of what we've done for you. It's not just a transaction. Again, it's to provide you with confidence and just, peace of mind for life.
Sure, that sense of added security. So, well, I thank you so much for coming on again and sharing all of your knowledge and information, and letting us know that you don't have to, you can select Brunette Title to be your title company, and what the many benefits, even as an agent,
Right.
are to make sure to work with Brunette Title. So give us, before we close, one more time, phone number, email. How did people get a hold of you again? And we're going to put it in the description too. So
perfect. Thank you. No, 773-540-8733. And the email is Brian, BRIAN .brown, BROWN at Brunette, BURNET, title, TITLE, IL for Illinois.com.
wonderful. Thank you so much. And again, thank you to our sponsors, Plaza Cleaners, and be sure to get out to check out the Fire and Ice Winter Social January 29th from noon until 3 in downtown Frankfort. Once again, I am your host, Jennifer Williams. This is my podcast, Lux Life. I'm a real estate agent with Coldwell Banker Gold Coast, serving the Chicagoland and beyond. And if you like what Brian had to say, check us out. See how we can help you achieve your dreams of real estate. 708-710-9266, Instagram and TikTok at Jennifer Williams Broker. And until next time, this is Jennifer Williams. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.